Hi, my name is Mark Addison. I'm the youngest of four, the Southern Baptist missionary parents. At one time, I was Mr. Gay Texas, second runner up to Mr. Gay All American, which is really fucking third place, and recently divorced from a 14-year relationship. Welcome to the shit show! Brought to you by ADHD, Klonopin, and George Clooney Tequila. So my grinder profile says that if I'm in your neighborhood and not normally on your grid, that means I'm probably fucking your neighbor and it's probably the one you're thinking of. So the other day, this guy hit me up and said, "Are you fucking my neighbor? And is it the one I'm thinking of?" And I said, "I don't know. Does your dad live in your neighborhood?" And he said, "My dad is dead. Are you fucking my dead dad?" And I said, "Well, I was until he ghosted me." And he came back with, "Ha! I said, "Sir, this is never going to work because I am into aggressive tops, some light BDSM, and puns. And what you should have said after my ghosted comment was, boo." So June is rapidly approaching, which means it's gay pride season. Blah. June is never an easy month for me because A, I don't have my summer body out of layaway yet. And yes, I do have washboard abs. I'm just doing a load of chows right now. And for a lot of my friends, I'm their only token gay. So for the entire month of June, I have to answer phone calls that say Happy Pride. I have to return texts that say Happy Pride. I have to suck dick for Happy Pride. And it's not like other groups that have their own month are nearly as celebrated as we gays are in the month of June. I mean, it's not like in the month of May, I call up my sister and I'm like, "Happy Mental Health Awareness Month," even though I probably should. And trust me, I'm completely fine with parades and marches. I've had more black men in me than the Million Man March. So I guess I should have known from an early age that I was gay because when I was a kid, I was in love with the Little Mermaid. Matter of fact, all I wanted her to do was to be part of my world. But then after thinking about it when I became an adult, you know that bitch had crabs. And they recently did the live action version of The Little Mermaid, and everybody was all up in arms about the Black Little Mermaid. I was like, look, y'all need to calm the fuck down. We don't know what mermaids look like because they don't exist. The problem I have with the Black Little Mermaid is I didn't think black girls like to get their hair wet. And then to add insult to injury, they made Ursula into a white woman played by Melissa McCarthy, which was just another example of a white woman trying to steal a black girl's voice. They also recently did the live action version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, except they axed the and Seven Dwarfs part and just called it Snow White. Well, Peter Dinklage, that dwarf from Game of Thrones, and I checked, we can call them Thrones. Well, he got all up in arms and up on his soapbox because Disney was using CGI dwarfs and not dwarf actors. Well, Disney said that they had consulted the dwarf community, which I can only assume is a very small community, and their reactions were quite varied. Some were happy, some were grumpy, some were sleepy. Is that joke too short? So when I was in college, I was house sitting for a friend of mine, and obviously when you house sit for a friend of yours, you want to watch their porn collection. And yes, I am available for house sitting. So there I am, listening to music, watching porn. Oh, it was called Ass Man and the Wasp, which I thought was going to be about a big leather daddy fucking Anderson Cooper, but I digress. So here I am, watching porn, listening to music. Now this is how old I am. He had a 5 CD disc changer, and well, the CD changes, and I know I should have gotten up and changed the CD myself, but my hands were full. Believe it. And the porn and the CD slowly start to sync up. Oh, I forgot to tell you what the CD was. It was the soundtrack to Les Mis. So all of a sudden it goes, it'll come, it'll come, it'll come. And it did. And there I was, jerking off on my own. So my brother calls me math. Now you must be asking yourself, why, Mark? Are you good at math? Negative. He calls me math because my last name is Addison, and for him, math stands for Mark Addison, the homo. Look, it's baby steps. And for quite some time, he's been parking his Corvette in my parents' garage. And after thinking about it for a while, I called him up the other day and I said, "Hey, Gary, is anybody charging you rent to park your small penis car in mom and dad's garage?" And he was like, "Nope. And that's not a small penis car. That's a big penis car." And I said, "Negative. That's not the way the rest of the world sees it. Because Gary plus Corvette equals small penis. And that's just simple math." Thank y'all, Mark Addison. Take care. Boop.